Okay, this is the next video, and in this video I'm going to talk a little bit about media, like new media, old media, kind of touch on education a tiny bit, but then I'll kind of tie it together and kind of show you how it relates to the previous video on ideas, and if you haven't watched that, go watch that. It's somewhere up in the corner here. And then secondly, since my hair grows so fast, you're going to see like a different haircut like all the time. So get used to that. Still the same guy. So let's start. Media. Media is kind of like this unstructured sort of information that people get. And education, say a formal education, is more of a structured type of thing. So you go to school, you go into some program. There's curriculum set out, and that curriculum set out based on what someone thinks that you need to learn to execute this job on the other end. So it's a structured form. It's a more permanent, if you will, and it's more ingrained. So it's kind of, you can think of it as a higher retention of that structure in your mind. So you can build that structure in your mind through education. So if you get a 4-year degree and you're an engineer, you're going to think like an engineer. If you're in business, you're going to think like business. If you're in marketing, you're probably going to think like that, etc. However, media has an effect on everybody every day, all the time. So media used to be, telegraphs and newspapers and posters, print media. And then it kind of evolved into something with radio, and then TV, and then internet, and now social media. And social media is a very powerful one, so that's what I'm going to actually touch on most. But kind of explain the idea of media. So media is something that we all consume, and it kind of, unlike education, media is tailored to people's curiosities and their emotions. Okay? And that's where they get a lot of their information on a day-to-day basis is media, the news. If someone says something on CNN or Fox News or whatever, people freak out about it. If something is posted on the internet, people consume that and they regurgitate that and they process that. And sometimes they process it loosely, sometimes they process it quickly. But the fact of the matter is that the media is controlling the minds. Okay? The media is putting those ideas in your head. And the media is directing that. And so the thing about the media is if you have a strong ability to think, it's going to have less of an effect. But if you don't have a strong ability to think and really process things and understand something, then the media becomes more of an emotional thing. And like any good lawyer, you can pull the strings on people's emotions just really well. You appeal to just that human nature. There's certain I don't want to call them weaknesses, but I'll call them weaknesses for this video. There's certain weaknesses in human nature that cause people to stop thinking or to react without considering consequences or the reality or how something actually works. And so, again, the media is responsible for that, a portion of that, for good and for bad. So what that means, though, is if you're able to control the media, you're able to control the minds, okay? And that's just, again, you're able to get in front of people, you're able to put information out there, they consume that information, they process it like I said in the last video, and then something else comes out. Now, it's a weak sort of, it's not like in the structure, like education is more structural, and I'll talk about that in another video, but the media is something that people just consume all the time. So, nowadays, though, you have social media, and you have the internet, and that's really changed everything for media, and, it's still taking media a while to figure this out, but they're starting to catch on, but people are faster. So what I'm going to tell you is that social media is incredibly powerful. And when I say social media, I mean like Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google+, MySpace. Nobody uses MySpace anymore, but if you do, stop. But the media is now social media, and marketing is now social a lot of times. But you have to understand how social media works to really understand how powerful it can be. So you remember before you had email and you had people, saying forward this thing and your wish will come true or some crap like that. Now it's like this picture or like this video or share this. And so you should think about the mechanics of that. So when someone likes something, it goes into their feed, right? And then their friends see it. And their friends see it, they can like it, and then all their friends see it. And so you go from this one piece of information and you expose it to one set of people and they have a whole network, and then a fraction of them expose it to their network and then they have a whole network, and so it just moves like this in waves all across the internet. That's why you have false information that propagates quickly. That's why you have those fake pictures of the hurricane that propagate very quickly. Within minutes, you can reach hundreds of thousands of people. So this is a very, 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 very powerful idea, because it means that you can communicate in a very scalable way with minimal cost up front. So if you were to put a news ad on TV, you say it's during the Super Bowl, it's probably going to cost you millions. However, if you can come up with an awesome meme, or you can come up with awesome content, and you have this ability to engage people, and then they share that across the network, you can reach millions of people. You could reach hundreds of millions of people. I think the one of the videos on YouTube, the Gangnam Style or whatever it's called, is approaching a billion views, and so you can really reach a ton of people. And so when I talked about ideas before, now I'm talking about how you can send these ideas to a ton of people, and that's through social media. It's through Facebook. It's through Twitter, and those are probably the two biggest. And then just online, blogs and things can be pretty influential as well. But the Facebook thing is this method of transferring information quickly to a lot of people, and you can just push that information out. Now, what you have to understand is human nature. You have to understand how people react. So, like I said, media is an emotional thing. It's a curiosity thing. It's a love thing. It's a hate thing. It's appealing to a different set of values in people. And so the trick is the engagement factor. So if you see some meme and it says something about guns, and you're all into guns, and you're going to like that, and that's going to move it down the network. If you have interests in horses or education, or you're a Republican or Democrat or some political thing, it appeals to your emotional values and your beliefs, and that creates engagement, and that engagement gets people mobilized. Then you have these events that people sign up for, and they go, you get hundreds of thousands, and etc. But the thing is, there's no friction, there's no resistance there, and you can scale it so large. And so this is the people that understand that, and the people that understand the real social media marketing. It's not necessarily that you're going to convert to customers. There's a lot of debate about whether using social media is actually a long-term beneficial for a business. I think it is for certain businesses, but when you're trying to move ideas, that's when it becomes powerful, because the payout is not in monetary clicks or purchases. It's in seeding that thing in the mind, and you can move that so quickly, so fast. And so the people who really understand that and really want to transmit information, really want to transmit ideas, they will take that seriously. They will take social media seriously, even with all the crap that it brings along. People will say, I hate Facebook, but that's just because there's crap on Facebook, and there's privacy things, and there's other stuff. But one thing I always do is look at something and say, how can I use this? And figure out what to do with it as a platform. So that's kind of the big picture on media, and kind of really focusing on social media and the internet to transmit information to every person on this planet eventually. Okay, that was not possible before. You could not print enough flyers before to do that, right? You couldn't get on enough TV stations to do that. Now you can reach 1 billion people. Okay, that's powerful, 1 billion. So that's it for this video. The next one I'll talk a little bit maybe about education and kind of how that relates, but those two are very tied into how people think and what people do in society and culture and things of that nature. So that's it. See you next time.